All right, we are back, Island Sound and Story, on location in Nanaimo. We are here at Nanaimo's famous Backyard Fest, one of the preeminent alternative and DIY music and culture events in the city. And I am talking to Caveman and the Banshee.
Hello.
Hello, otherwise known as Valentina Cardinalli and
Dave Reed.
So when I call you by your noms de guerre, I butchered that French there, but I'm referring to when you two perform and you've got your makeup on, you've got an eye on your forehead, you're doing some absolutely wild, intense music, and people are losing their minds over it. Can you tell us a little bit, first of all, about the music project that you two do together?
oh, it's so much fun and I love it. Let me say that first and foremost. I'm the big out front flamboyant one, but the Caveman is the entire freaking band who like makes the floor go, and I call him like Robert Frippian in that way. Like Robert Fripp is very like, oh don't mind me, I'm over here being Robert Fripp, and like I don't know, I just think that he's.
I mean, basically, you know, for people who don't know the band, it's a duo. Valentina here, the Banshee, is on vocals and weirdo effects and some other stuff. And I primarily play bass guitar, control drum machines, and can make the bass sound like a whole bunch of other things.
He's the whole band.
Yeah.
Well, we call it cosmic atomic punk. So it's kind of punk in the attitude sense, but we're also using like drum machine beats, you know, old school hip hop beat type things, not sampled, created by us, and throwing rock riffs on top of it and doing a lot of theatrical stuff too. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a very eclectic mix. And how did you come up with kind of the theatricality of it, the characters of it, the kind of exuberance of it, and the kind of the hook to it?
I'm an actor.
Yeah, she's been an actor her whole life.
My background has been in theater. I am not a musician. The word singer isn't the word that I use for myself. I say I'm a vocalist. But whatever, you know, tomato.
Yeah.
But yeah, and a performer. And I'm really just an actor. And Dave is the one who's had music in his.
Yeah, I've been in bands, you know, my whole life, you know, since I was 12 years old or something like that, and just always enjoyed that whole thing. And we'd played in some bands in town in Nanaimo here, a long-running band called Moths and Locusts, psych rock band. I've played in Anunnaki and a variety of other things, but I don't know if it was due to the COVID times or whatnot, but you know, being a couple ourselves, it enabled us to create at any time without having to be in any sort of bubble, because, you know, you're already in that bubble. And really, once we got the drum machine going, it was kind of off to the races. That's the real leader of the band. Yeah, we got a good beat in there, and that's just kind of makes itself happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's it like to be both a partnership in a band and a partnership in life? How do those interact? Is it easy? Is it hard? Is it different?
I think in this case, it definitely works in the benefit, because we do have a long line of, you know, shared memories and stuff that we can pick from and choose from, and even subconsciously we kind of get that sort of thing. So it's awesome in that regard. And really, I think we both put the band first, so there's no like ego involved. It's
We're
about
100%
what the, you know, what's right for the
both
song and what's right for the thing. So yeah, it's pretty fun and awesome and positive for us, for sure.
Most of the people at this festival, let's face it, are younger than you and I, and that's wonderful to see. And the bands just have been top notch. Nobody phoned it in. Everybody gave it. Yeah. I'm just so proud of original musicians. It's brave and wonderful.
Well, I think it's more than bravery to get up yourself. I think there's also pride in community, because you're kind of talking about you want to show people that it can be done themselves, and that to me is something that I've seen a lot in Nanaimo, is this idea of everyone contributing, everyone participating. It's not as much of a barrier between there's your entertainers and here's your audience. It's all kind of people getting together, and whether they're contributing music or art or whatever it may be,
giving of themselves. Yeah, and actually, I mean, we've talked about the younger people, but let's not be ageist here. I mean, older people have their own unique voices as well. I'm interested in whatever anybody has to say, as long as it has authenticity and stuff. That's
And people can switch tracks and
And
something
find-
at whatever point in life and be
You
like,
know?
this is what I want
Yeah.
to do now.
yeah.
And you know, the 21st
Exactly.
century here is so postmodern that there's no need to close things into little genre compartments anymore.
Yeah.
Everything is kind of exploded, so it's like, why not take this and put it with this? You know, rather than just trying to copy something from the past, which is, you know, maybe a little more inauthentic.
That's
Yeah,
why we call it.
recombine.
That's why we call it cosmic atomic punk.
So there's, I think, just as you're saying, there's kind of a looking for culture here, and people that are looking for it seem to just decide to make it
Yes.
themselves. And
Mhm,
so we
mhm.
have people who are really taking it upon themselves to make sure something does happen, not just wait for it to emerge.
Adhocracy. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
adhocracy.
It's adhocracy. I am very much an ad hoc type person.
Yeah.
Just do it. There's an artist named Twink who I'm very inspired
We've
by,
worked with, yeah.
and we made a record with him. And
British
a
psych rock
British psych rock
legend.
legend, and
Yeah.
he has a
I
song
recognize
called
it.
"Just Do It," and
That's
or
what you got.
do it.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
Just
yeah.
yeah.
I
And
mean,
he's-
yeah, just gotta make it happen. There's so many people involved in Backyard Fest,
It is
giving
not
their
just
time
us.
and their
Oh yeah.
talents and everything. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable, and
Yeah.
it
Brendan,
couldn't happen
Hall,
without
Jack,
everybody. Well,
Amanda,
there's so many
Chester.
people.
I can't
yeah,
even.
yeah, there's so many people.
Yeah.
It's like the Academy
Nathan,
Awards speech
I know.
where they start playing rock, 'cause there's so many people
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
mean, you
yeah,
could-
I,
you
I'm
could
sorry.
do
I
it
shouldn't
without
even have said all
everybody,
those.
yeah.
Yeah. Everybody.
No, but
Everybody.
it just
Yeah.
speaks to how
Yeah.
many there are to list. And I think that there's also a lot of people, folks like yourselves and Nathan that runs the space
Yep.
here, that you know, are playing music and also doing something with their business that the community is interested in, and also volunteering and setting things up. Like, people seem like multi-hyphenates, fingers in multiple pots. Is that really part of the Nanaimo character, or is it just the people I happen to have met this week?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's a
Just-
city of. There's a lot of doers, people who are just gonna roll up the sleeves and get it done, and that's how, again, something like Backyard Fest happens. You know, people just decide to go ahead and do it, and if we're gonna build a stage, let's build
Build a
the
stage.
best darn stage we can build,
Yeah.
and you know, if we're gonna get the sound, let's get the best sound we can get, and let's just, you know, do it right and do it up. And we're proud to be independent also, where we just make it happen every year ourselves and look forward to the next year and grow and prepare for that. So that's what's really happened here. We learn every year doing the fest.
We want
what we
to
should
do
be
it
doing
ourselves.
better next year.
We want to do it ourselves. We don't really want to go outside of the community of people that we're working with, because we have a sense of pride in
But at
building
the same
it
time,
ourselves.
there's more and more people coming,
coming
into the community,
Becoming
bringing
part of
new
Being part of
talents
it, yes.
and
Yes,
whatnot,
and it's building. That is
making
true.
it evolve.
It's
to an
never
even better, greater
closed.
thing.
It's never
No, it's
cut
never
off.
closed, yeah.
But
You
it
want to be
changes.
For and by.
For
Yeah.
and by, exactly. For and by community. Yeah.
It's funny at Crace Mountain the other night, one of the attendees, somebody who's been in bands for several years, was saying to somebody else, like, "Oh yeah, you young guys, whatever." And I said, "Well, I remember when that was you."
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
there's so many
Yeah,
young guys,
that's
on
coming
young
up.
people coming on the scene is
Like
yeah,
you.
That's when I remember you.
Yeah, every successive
They blush.
generation.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, as cities, especially in BC and on the coast, on the
Yeah.
island, get more expensive,
Yeah.
it's harder and harder to kind of keep a venue running, keep a house show type of place running. It's the feasibility as that lessens. It takes that will and that interconnection, because people can't just shoulder it themselves.
No.
There's got to be an
There's gotta be some-
infrastructure there
some sort
to
of-
keep these
yeah.
kinds of things happening.
Well, we've seen artists come into places that have maybe been running down, let's be honest, and
It's happening
build
in
them
many cities, yeah.
and build them back up again. And then once it starts to get built back up again, well, then we're in this sort of precarious area where
Maybe you could lose it.
maybe you could
Yeah.
lose it.
And we're conscious of that in Nanaimo as well, absolutely. And that's why, we're pretty proactive, with
We wanna fight to
issues.
hold on to it.
to hold on to what's
Yeah.
good about Nanaimo,
Yeah.
and have something, again.
And try to
Backyard
explain
Fest
why it's good, because it's not a capitalist venture. Because
Yeah, it's a community venture.
It's a community venture. And
Totally,
and there's this funny thing within perhaps our society where do we understand something having value if it's not doesn't have a monetary at the end of the day? It's so built into our and
It feels like these days the way things are run is
Yeah.
that, a small percentage of people will reap a really good reward on something, and then everybody else kind of suffers. But here, I think everyone's reaping the reward because they're all being introduced to these new
Yes.
bands that they haven't heard
Yes.
or old favorites that they've heard. And everybody, we've got young people, we've got older people, we've got all sorts
Middle-aged
of people.
people,
Yeah,
us.
all sorts of people from all over. Everybody's welcome
and
at Backyard
everybody's
Fest.
welcome. Everybody's welcome
There's
in a
people
sort
who
of
come-
Group bros.
in a sort of effortless kind of way.
Yeah. So how would you, especially as we move into the future, what do you foresee from the scene, and what do you want people to bring to it? What do you need? What do you hope people will come with in the coming years?
I don't know what the future holds. I just don't know. What do I?
It's hard to say. I mean, people just kind of do it, and
It's a hard question.
but things are, we've got several bands in town right now that are not here this weekend because they're on tour elsewhere, over in Europe, down in the United States. So, I mean, who knows? Attention maybe coming to Nanaimo. Who knows?
I also think.
You know?
I also think Nanaimo.
not.
I also think
Fine
that
either way.
Nanaimo can go elsewhere. I'd like to see bands from Nanaimo travel and go outside of Nanaimo and learn from those experiences, like a cultural exchange to
Sure,
different
yeah.
places.
We tour
Yeah.
across Canada and whatnot,
Yeah.
and
We wanna
we
do
see all the
more.
other scenes and stuff, and
Tour.
Nanaimo's definitely, punching
Yeah.
above its weight for
Yeah,
sure. I will
yeah.
say that
Yes.
for sure. Yeah.
We've got a lot of culture to offer Canada.
Yeah. And you've
And the
kind
world.
of become ambassadors of that because a lot of people never been to Nanaimo,
Yeah.
never been to the island, but then they like, oh, I know Caveman and the Banshee, they're from Nanaimo. That's what people
Well,
like
you
over
know, if you want to call us an ambassador, I will
there.
take
Well,
it.
that's what it's like to be a touring band, isn't it? That's
That's
kind
true,
of
yeah,
the
yeah,
window
yeah.
into that city
Yeah.
scene.
And you get to see what those people are doing too, and maybe
Yeah.
glean some ideas from them and bring them home.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
you,
This
Cam.
has been the
Wonderful.
Caveman. This has been the Banshee, and we have been Island Sound and Story on location in Nanaimo at Backyard Fest.
Cheers.
So we are talking to Dave and Val, aka Caveman and the Banshee, in their store Noiseagonymayhem. So tell us a little bit about how you started the store and what the theme is.
Well, we started the store. We opened in November 2023, and we're a record store / rock shop. So we carry music culture stuff. We've been selling at record shows for several years, and eventually specializing in heavy metal and punk records and stuff. And we've been thinking about opening a store when this space you're in now became available. And we took it and off to the races. So we just want to bring that kind of store to Nanaimo. A lot of people have said that it's been too long since something like this was in town, and they're glad for us to be here. So we're happy to be here also.
But the name Noise Agony Mayhem came from this man when he was, how old were you?
18 years old.
18
Yeah, it's
years
just,
old. So freaking cute. He was so cute. With his
Okay.
he was.
But so between the store itself now and the label, obviously, you're really at kind of the epicenter, the crux of of a lot of music in town, DIY music, heavy music. What is kind of that role like, that position to be at such a center?
Oh,
of
just
that
lucky,
type
I
of
guess.
thing?
Yeah. Feel lucky to be around all the stuff. I mean, if it's something that you love and you get to do it and be a part of doing it and helping put it on, like we help put on shows and sponsor shows as well. And it's just good. It feels good helping put Nanaimo stuff on the map a little further.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah, so because you've been doing it for a few years now, right?
Yeah.
At this particular store, I mean.
No,
No.
this store just since November.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
This is
recently
new.
you just
Yeah.
started it.
Yeah.
This is a
Yeah.
new brick and mortar store. We
Gotcha,
had
yeah.
a smaller record store in a place called the White Room Black Dot Records where we
Oh,
did shows. and the sign on the black dot said "hard to find, rarely open."
Which never.
Because never open, hard to find, never open. Because it was more of like an art place.
It was
or
underground.
whatever.
Yeah.
Underground.
Yeah, more so than like a storefront.
Yeah,
More than-
whereas
and
here
this
we're
is-
on Commercial Street, you know, with a big window in the front and
Yeah.
doors open, and
Yeah.
Come on in.
it's good. Yeah, good having people in here.
Well, what's the reception been like in under a year, kind of open here in terms of?
It's been really good. I mean, we're still growing. Where people are still discovering us, so the night market is good for that. People coming from other parts of town and outside of town, and tourists. So yeah, it's been pretty good. But by and large, the people coming in are really happy that there's something like this in town. So we're happy to be
I
here.
love our customers. It is a joy to talk to each and every one of them, and I probably talk too much, but I can't help it. So it's just fun. It's fun to see who they are and talk about music and art and culture. I can't think of anything more fun, really. If you want to know what's inside our heads, you just have to look at the walls and our hearts. This is the physical manifestation of thoughts, ideas, creative inspiration. It's a joy.
And we're always busy promoting other stuff going on in town too, all the shows and stuff while we're here. So we're just passing off flyers to people for shows, and you know, hipping new people to town to what's good, and we're sending them to all the other cool spots in town also.
Yeah, like the vault and and the other record stores. Like it's nice. It's not. It doesn't feel competitive. That part does not feel.
Yeah, it's kind of great.
It's
You know,
kinda
when you come
great
into a town
to-
and there's 4 record stores within close proximity, I mean, it's pretty awesome.
That's an indication that there is art and culture alive in Nanaimo right now.
Well, it's awesome to be in here. Noiseagonymayhem, a store right on what is it? Commercial
Commercial
here?
Street, yeah.
Commercial. Any type of like old sci-fi, horror, metal, hard rock, different kinds of rock music, different kinds
Punk,
of alternative
weird.
stuff.
Yeah, punk, metal, psychedelic
Yeah.
rock.
Noiseagonymayhem.